1. Blog Talk Radio.
Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorda, and I'm here with my co-host, Ringside Robert, and England's adopted son, Joe Habib. And we have a great show for you tonight. If you want to call and ask questions, you can call in right now at 323-870-3857. And we're going to be here till about 9 tonight. I'd like to get out of here right at 9. So we can watch the main event of the Lipinets fight, the Lipinets and Peterson fight. So we should get you out of here. We'll get you out of here definitely before the main event. So
no overtime tonight, guys. So when you call in, make your points and move on so the next person can talk.
Tell him, Robbie. Tell him.
Yeah,
tell him, Robbie.
Thank you, Robbie.
Tell him, Robbie.
8-track Robbie. Rotary phone Robbie. 8-track Robbie. Oh, you guys.
No.
You guys better leave Robbie alone, man. I'm telling you right now. Leave him alone. Stop bullying Robbie.
Yeah.
No cyberbullying on Robbie. Enough.
Hey, I'll say it this way. When you live on a fixed income, you see what kind of decisions you make.
Robbie, you don't even have to explain yourself. You do what you do, Robbie. You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do, Robbie.
Joe, I've been doing that all my life.
I know you have.
Look at Robert.
Coming
out firing, baby. Coming out firing. All right, today we're going to talk about Manny Pacquiao takes to social media to ask fans who he should fight next. We'll tell you who's on the list and, more importantly, who's not on that list. Adrian Broner, once again, lands himself on our Adrian Broner train wreck of the week. But first, we get started with ESPN. Kubrat Pulev versus Bogdan Dinu. Is that right, Bogdan?
Yeah, Bogdan.
I believe so.
Yep.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
That's 100% accurate, sucker. You got it.
There it is. All right. Pulev stops Dinu in round 7. Pulev was cut in round 4 by a solid right hand by Dinu. Both fighters, man, had their moments in this fight. I mean, that cut was bad. That was a very bad cut, man. It was a lot better fight than I expected. All right, I'll say that first, because I didn't, this was one of those fights on paper. You're just like, whatever, That being said, I think, and I don't know what you guys thought, I thought the referee blew this fight. My opinion, both knockdown shots by Pulev were behind the neck. Behind the neck. That's a foul. Why wasn't this enforced? Beeb, I'll go to you.
I'm so glad you just went to me because I was chomping at the bit.
Robert, I'm going to go to you for no.
No,
but this is what. And again, I love you and I always respect your opinion. So, but we're gonna disagree vehemently on this one. I hear a lot of fans always say that. But if a fighter is throwing a punch and the other guy is leaning forward and bending over like that, you're gonna hit him in the back of the head, like that. Like you're not supposed to. I mean, you can't bend over past your waist. But you're not supposed to bend down like that to avoid a punch. That's not the typical way to slip a punch. You're supposed to either slip it or get under it. You got guys that go down like that and bend their head down forward. They're only asking to be hit by in the back of the head. So he gave Pulev the back of his head. So there was no other course for Pulev to take. I mean, Pulev was throwing punches, and he was leaning down and bending his head forward. And by the time the punch got there, it's basically incidental contact. He wasn't intentionally trying to aim for the back of his head. The guy
just second knockdown, because the second knockdown it was the same thing.
I disagree on that. I mean, he hit him with a good punch, and then after he hit him with the good punch, he pulled his head. He pulled his head down. Not pulled his head down, but he ducked his head down, and he gave Pulev the back of his head. So if you're shelling up like that, Eric, I mean, a guy's gonna have to throw punches at you. It's one thing covering up like this, but if you're shelling up and bending over and going into the fetal position practically, I mean, what's the guy supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just disagree. I don't like when guys curl up like that and they bend their head forward and then they start going like this. oh, ref, I'm getting hit in the back of the head. I mean, I just don't think that, I think it's their fault, number one. And number two, it's almost as if, they're looking for a cheap way to get out of a fight. I never question anyone's heart, and I never like to make fun of fighters. But that first knockdown, basically, the punch that hit him flush in the face was the one that did the damage. And then Pulev practically just glanced the back of his head in the second punch. And then he was like, I think he was, maybe trying to find a way out, in my opinion. And I try to say that as respectfully as I can on that one, because that one that hit the back of his, that glanced the back of his head, did not look that devastating to me. And that's just me. That's just me.
Right.
And again, I give Dinu all the credit in the world, because he showed a lot of heart, because he did get up and he tried. He tried his very best. He every ounce of effort he had in his body, I think he tried to put on last night. I think he really tried. But when he was being overwhelmed, I think instinctively he just didn't know how to get out of the way of the punches, and he kind of shelled up and went into a modified version of the fetal position, and that's why he was getting hit in the back of the head. But I still give him full credit for hanging in there, and that was a beautiful right hand that he landed in the fourth round. And I'm just going to make a point right here. Now, Pulev is ranked number 1 by the IBF. So, on paper, he did not take a gamble last night. But the way that fight played out, that cut looked bad. I mean, when I first saw that cut, I was saying to myself, if the longer this fight goes on, the worse that cut's gonna get. And I take my hat off to Rudy Hernandez. That's like one of the best cut man jobs I've ever seen in my life. He really did a great job on that cut. But when I first saw that cut, I thought it was going to get worse and worse, and I kind of thought Pulev might have gotten stopped because of the cut. But here's the thing. I'm going to pull it back in and get back to my point here. When you see these guys like Fury and Joshua and even Wilder talk about having all these fights, these interim fights in between before fighting each other, anything can happen. Anything can happen. And one loss, like a freak punch could land like we saw last night, and you could lose a fight on a cut. You could twist your knee. You could blow your knee out throwing a punch. Anything can happen. You could throw a punch, blow your shoulder out. So this is a gamble. These guys are gambling on themselves, and that's what a fighter does, not only in Wilder's instance, what he did with the contract, but every time a fighter steps in that ring, he is virtually gambling on himself. So you sit there and say, well, I'm going to take these interim fights. That fight, the big fight will always be there. But Pulev almost lost his number 1 ranking last night because he got hit. He got hit on the right spot at the right time, and he got hit perfectly. And his face, that cut was grotesque. His face was ripped open above that eye, that left eye there. His face was in really bad shape for a little while there. So this is why I caution against these guys. They better be careful taking all these interim fights in between and having that attitude like, okay, the big fights will always be there, and they'll just be, the longer we put the big fight off, it'll continue to get bigger, but anything can happen in the sport. And last night was the prime example of just that.
There you go. Robert, what was your take on that fight?
Unfortunately, Beeb, I see where you're going to with the knockdown, but then why did the referee take a point away from Pulev when it was obvious what Dinu was doing? He was trying to avoid getting hit, so he figured the lower he got, the guy would swing over the top of him and wouldn't hit him. So I wonder why the referee went ahead and took a point in that case, because the referee must have, okay, he hit him in the back of the head. I got to do something. So that's the fly in your ointment there of a very good argument. I'm glad nothing came of it. I'm glad the fight was stopped and we didn't have to go to controversial scorecards. But if that fight would have went the distance, it might have created a problem. I don't know. And Pulev, even though he got cut last night, he's shown that he's still a good fighter. And you know how it is with mandatories. I mean, Povetkin was Joshua's mandatory. Pulev is a mandatory. What excuse? I mean, Pulev even though he got cut last night, he's still in a position for Joshua to use as a possible excuse to avoid Deontay Wilder. I can see that coming. I can see this fight constantly being delayed because Joshua, in particular, holding 3 belts, is going to throw mandatory after mandatory in front of Wilder's face.
No, I disagree with that.
Come on, son.
I disagree with that because
Wilder. What makes you think Joshua's running from Wilder? First of all,
no, I'm not. I'm not saying anybody's running, but look
at
what
you're saying.
Well, look, I could see Eddie Hearn and Joshua getting together and using delay tactics. You know, unfortunately, we've seen this happen before.
Right, but we can, you know what? We can circle back around and say, well, Wilder didn't sign a contract to fight Joshua. He couldn't. He didn't go into the zone. We can open that can of worms again.
No, I know he didn't.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I mean, you guys are talking about stuff that's not even happening yet.
No, I agree with you, Eric. And this is the thing, Robbie. You could be the mandatory,
right?
And the sanctioning body has to enforce the mandatory. Like we've seen, particularly with the WBC, they're very lax about enforcing the mandatories. And if the proper paperwork is filled out to file for an exception, then nothing's really going to stand in the way of this fight.
Right.
Eddie Hearn, before, did not file for the exception. And he said he didn't file for the exception because he didn't want to file for the exception because there was no concrete evidence to suggest that the fight with Wilder was going to take place because no one signed anything. So if they know that the fight is going to happen and they can make the fight, and then if they file the exception within a reasonable period of time, the sanctioning body will allow this fight to happen. I don't think anyone's going to stand in the way of this fight.
No, and I think that's just a silly thing to say. You know, he's going to use this to get away from what? I mean, come on, man. That's just a silly thing to say.
Unfortunately, with the way the politics are playing with this situation, unfortunately, that's a scenario I can see. God, I want to be wrong. Don't get me wrong, but I can just see one delaying tactic after another on both sides.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's talk about right now. Let's go back to ESPN and the way they actually did things. And Beeb brought this up to me last night. The actual production of it looks so much better with Fox now. Like, it looks really, really professional. And the ESPN, I mean, if you compare like productions and everything like that, ESPN just doesn't. It seems like they don't invest a lot of money in it. You know what I mean? But now, on the flip side of that, I was watching UFC last night on ESPN Plus. Okay, so that looked great. I mean, that looked really, really good. I mean, everything it looks like their pay-per-views did. You know, it looks like it did on Fox. I mean, it looks great. I don't know if this is a UFC thing or is this just ESPN sinking more money into UFC or what? You know what I mean? But I don't know. Beeb, what were your thoughts on this? Because you had brought it up to me.
I've just been saying this all along. I just don't think ESPN is really, really all in with the boxing like Fox is. I don't think they're doing a great job. You can see the difference in how UFC's been promoting and the production in their UFC shows and their cards. I think it's like night and day. I think ESPN, as I said earlier, and in other shows, I brought this up before. I think UFC is more focused on, ESPN is more focused on the UFC and not the boxing. And I think it's pretty clear. They're trying, like, look how they promoted and advertised for Spence Garcia. We haven't seen anything about Crawford or Khan, okay? And they put a still shot of the fight poster last night, and that's how you promote a fight? No highlights, no commercials about it, nothing. Yeah, so it's pretty clear to me that ESPN really isn't all in with this whole boxing thing with Top Rank, and they're not as committed to the boxing as they are with the UFC. Where you could see Fox, they have all of these PBC shows on throughout the course of the week, not only on Fox, but Fox Sports 1. They have fighters, doing a lot of promotion themselves. They have the fighter out there as the commentator. They have the fighter out there as the interviewer, and they have the fighter out there on various shows. So kudos to Fox. Fox got rid of UFC, and they said, you know what? We're going to go all in on the boxing. And ESPN didn't do nearly what Fox has been doing for the sport of boxing. I don't think ESPN is doing a great job at all. And I think Bob really needs to do something or say something to change that, because I don't see how, if they keep up doing what they're doing in terms of the production and their promoting tactics, I don't see how the fights and the fighters are going to get known to the American public if they're going to be fighting on ESPN, because I don't like what they're doing over there at all. I don't see an upside to what they're doing over there at all, and I just don't think it's a good thing.
Well, I think the thing that concerns me, I mean, it really does shortchange ESPN in the long run, or not ESPN. Well, I guess it does shortchange them, but it also shortchanges top-ranked fighters, the MTK fighters that came over. You know, I mean, this fight, I mean, like I said, if you just look at this and you look at like Fox, there was a huge difference. But even leave that to the side. I'll be honest, I watched the fights. I didn't actually watch a whole lot of the fluff in between. And you guys can probably attest to this more than I can, because I know with the Fox cards, they were rolling Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence. I don't know how many times during that card. I mean, it was constant promotion, whether it was on Fox, FS1, or whatever, man. It was constant promotion going on. And I understand the Crawford fight is still a month out. You know what I mean? The Crawford-Khan fight, which, you know, it's still a month out. But I've not seen hey, listen, man, I don't watch ESPN a whole lot. So that, again, I don't know. But you guys can attest to this more than I can. As far as last night, were they pushing the pay-per-view? I mean, did you hear about it a lot, or was there commercials for it, or was
No, they didn't hardly say a word about it. Nothing. And I'm worried about when April 20th comes around, what kind of pay-per-view product we're going to get for our money, because they act like they really didn't care whether that fight was going to happen or not. I mean, they talked about how good Crawford is, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. He's the best in the division, and you know, they mentioned that he's going to be fighting Khan, but they didn't do any kind of promoting, no commercials. All you saw was a still shot of the fight poster. You can't promote a pay-per-view fight like that. It just goes to show you ESPN has never done any pay-per-view fights, but yet Fox never did any pay-per-view fights, and they did a much better job of promoting the fight. Now, their actual broadcast itself during the pay-per-view, that needs some work. But before the fight, you know, they did a great job. ESPN, you know, oh yeah, this fight's coming up, you know, no big deal. You know, well, how are you going to encourage people to pay the money for it if you're not going to talk about it? Fox has blown ESPN out of the water.
Well, the other thing too,
I gotta agree with you on that, Robbie.
Yeah. The other thing too, though, we were watching DAZN, and Beeb and I kind of agreed on this. The production on DAZN was great.
Yeah, DAZN
really is. I mean, that really looks professional. It looks like it's well done, and you know,
that Charlie Edwards card was great, and I love the commentary team. Who is it? The Joe Gallagher, and who's the other guy on there?
I don't know.
I forget the other. Can someone help me out in the chat? Who's that guy? That
did a good job though.
Who's that guy with Joe Gallagher? Because I love those two guys. Those guys are the best commentators. When that pair of commentators are the best on DAZN. I love them.
Yeah, they were really good.
They do a great job.
Good. And you know what? I liked it better without, like I said, without the Ak and Barak segments and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't like Ak and Barak.
I don't either, man. I mean, I liked it. The way they did it last night, I thought was really good.
And you're
really, really good. That was actually on par, I thought, with Fox. I really do.
They did a great. I think
it was definitely on par with Fox.
It was way better than ESPN. Way better.
ESPN. It looks like a Friday Night Fights theme. It really does. And I'll be curious to see how that pay-per-view looks and everything like that. And their pay-per-view is coming together. I mean, the pay-per-view, it's got, I think it's a lot of squash matches on there. They got, who's on that? Shakur Stevenson's on there. Who else got put on there? Tiafimo got put on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's not too bad, but I expect them all to be like pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
All fairly one-sided fights.
So from what you see so far, there's no competitive fights on that pay-per-view card.
Listen, man. I mean, Khan, I think is going to be competitive for part of that fight, and then I think Crawford just takes it over. It's interesting that the fight's interesting because Khan is still fast. Khan still, you know what I mean? He's still got a lot of speed. He can crack. I mean, he can hit. I mean, like it or not, the guy can hit, man. And he's fast, man. It could be interesting. Would I bet anything on him? No, 100% no. I still think Crawford should beat him. I think Crawford should beat him fairly easily, but I'm interested to see it. It's an interest for me. It's an interesting fight. It's an interesting fight for me. So we'll see how that shakes out. The other thing that I did not like about TES, what is good? They need to get rid of Tim Bradley. He is terrible. I mean, I've been saying this for a long time.
Andre Ward is so much better than Tim Bradley.
Yeah, Andre Ward is great, man. I really like listening to Andre Ward. Everything he says, it makes sense. You may not agree with it, but at least he's in the logic pattern.
I love Andre Ward.
Tim Bradley is terrible. What was the deal last night? He's throwing money out.
That's so corny.
It was completely corny. And like everybody's just kind of looking at him like, what is this guy doing? What a dope, Like what is he doing?
Kriegel is unwatchable.
Yeah,
Kriegel.
God, I can't stand him.
When does ESPN fire Kriegel? Not soon enough.
Joe and I like Joe Tessitore, but for some reason he's a good commentator in general, but whenever he does boxing, he's just like too dramatic for me. I don't know. Like
it's just so drama filled, right?
Yeah, he's so corny. Like a guy will do something and he'll just like make it out to be like he just climbed Mount Everest or something. It's like,
and yet when he does Monday Night Football, he sucks too.
Oh, you don't like him on Monday Night Football?
No.
Okay, I thought he was okay doing that. I'm sorry.
Who, Kriegel?
No, Tessitore.
No, Tessitore. I thought he did a pretty good job on that. Why? What don't you like about him doing the football, Robbie? I'm just curious.
There's going to be a whole new set of commentators with him this year, but last year he didn't allow his partners to really say much in between plays. He basically dominated the whole booth. I didn't care for that.
Oh, so he talks too much. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, when you have experts working with you, allow them to do their jobs. And he didn't do that during the football. And I was worried about him working with Bradley, but Kriegel made it so worse. I really didn't pay much attention to him. But last night, you got to let Andre Ward talk and get Bradley out of there.
Yeah, so he's basically a grandstander then, really.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I love Robbie. People, I don't want to hear anyone say anything about Robbie again because he brings a lot to this show. Something like that, I never would have known that if Robbie didn't elaborate on that.
That's why he's here.
That's why I love Robbie.
He's here, son.
That's why I love Robbie.
You think he doesn't have a role here? This is why we have him.
You allow me to talk, you might hear some good stuff, people.
I mean, this is why Beeb Industries signed him to a 15-year extension with Ringside Reporter.
It's a lifetime contract. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know where you guys are getting contracts, huh?
We have to do it in increments, Robbie, so you can renegotiate. Just in case you want to renegotiate your salary after 15 years, you never sign a life.
I got a Mike Trout deal. I'm doing good.
Never.
Okay.
Robbie's the first guy on the show, man.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't going
never allow yourself to sign a lifetime contract because you want to be able to renegotiate your salary.
Hey, remember, Beeb, I'm the one that got you here. So,
all right, don't start taking. Well, that is a good point. That is a
great point.
Don't get too full of yourself. Don't get too full of yourself.
You don't know how much work I had to do to convince Eric that you'd be a good part of the show, and now he sees what I'm talking about after all this time.
I'm just kicking myself for it,
Robbie, you're breaking the third wall. Robbie, you're breaking the third wall. You don't talk about the negotiations.
Anyway, let's move on, Eric. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Jesse Magdaleno versus Rico Ramos. Magdaleno won a unanimous decision over Ramos by the scores of 99-91, 98-92, and 97-93. Pretty much all I need to say about the fight. It wasn't great.
Frankly, I felt bad for Jesse. As far as I'm concerned, last night he didn't have very much competition. I don't know why. I think Ramos was there just to collect a paycheck, and I felt bad for Jesse. You're making a debut in a new division. You want to look good, and the other guy didn't come to fight. I feel bad for him. I hope he gets another fight against somebody who actually wants to fight. Case closed.
Guys, we'll keep you updated on the March Madness thing. Duke down 4 with 2 minutes left against UCF.
Oh, wow.
Monster upset there if that goes through. My God, my bracket's screwed anyway. But
my bracket will be totally fucked up if that happens. Wow.
Yeah, mine too, because I got them winning everything.
So do I.
Can you imagine if they lose that, though? I mean, think about that for a minute.
Oh, my God.
I mean, they're the number 1 seed overall. They're favored by everybody to win.
And Zion Williams is the best college basketball player, bar none, and he'll be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Absolutely. Duke just hit a 3-pointer at 73-74. We'll keep you updated. All right, let's go to DAZN here and talk about Charlie Edwards. Beeb, this was actually my first time getting to see Charlie Edwards. And then after I saw him, of course, I go back and look at more footage of him and stuff like that. But Charlie Edwards versus Angel Moreno for the WBC flyweight title. Edwards looked like one of the best fighters in the world against Angel Moreno, man. Moreno was a really aggressive boxer. He always brings the fight to you. Edwards completely matadored him all night, man. Completely outboxed this guy. He was just in a different class. I don't know, honestly, if there's anybody in the division, in the 112 division, that beats him. I would love to see him move up to 115 just because I know there's a ton of fighters up there and a ton of fights that'll probably bring him more money than what he's making now.
Yeah.
And he's got the style because he's not a knockout guy. He's got the style to go up there and really make a difference. And honestly, man, I don't know. I don't know who, this guy, who he reminds me of, Beeb, is a Ricardo Lopez.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Just a picture-perfect textbook boxer. If you were to crack a mold, if you wanted to mold a fighter out of somebody, this is the guy. I always say Ricardo Lopez was one. This guy is right there with him. You know what I mean? Beeb, what were your thoughts on Charlie Edwards?
I think Charlie Edwards is a real smooth operator. I think he's very technically sound. The thing I like about him is he's got phenomenal balance. I like how he's great at really, measuring his distance and his range. He doesn't really ever seem to be leaping in with shots, doesn't load up with shots. He's just really smooth and fluid with everything he does. And I think he's very relaxed in there as well. As you said, not a huge puncher, but he doesn't try to be a huge puncher. He just basically systematically, sets up his offense, picks his shots, and he's really, really good. I think he's really, really good. Moreno was the perfect opponent for him because obviously he was a shorter guy, not really sophisticated in his offense at all. Seemed to be just leaping in, throwing wide winging shots. And when you're a short guy like that, you worsen your reach disadvantage that much more when you throw loop-in shots because that takes even more distance off your punches and it makes you have to really leap in with your legs instead of planting your feet and throwing a straight punch. So I think Moreno was tailor-made for Edwards last night. And I just think Edwards is a very disciplined fighter. He clowned around a little bit at points in this fight, but he knows how to fight, man. He knows how to fight. You could tell just by how fluid he is, just by how always on balance he is, the way he puts his shots together, the way he picks his shots too. His jab is wonderful too. So I like Charlie Edwards. And you know what I also liked yesterday too is that was a great crowd there. They really got behind their man, and even though he's in a one of the lighter weight classes, and we tend to think that fans don't really get behind guys who are flyweights, super flyweights, fighters in that weight class. Even though he is in that, those lighter weight divisions, and he's probably going to move up, but he'll still be a lightweight, one of those lighter weight type fighters. The crowd got behind him, and I think if you keep bringing him back and showcasing him in the UK, I think you can really build this kid. And I think the crowd was cheering. I think the crowd was very lively yesterday, and I think this kid could do very well and make a lot of money if people still stand behind him like they did last night and continue to show interest in his career.
Yeah, I think so too. He does everything so well. He does everything so well. He really does.
And that is the difference between the UK and the United States, because who knows if a guy like Charlie Edwards, because Charlie Edwards has got a beautiful story with his mother and everything. He's got a beautiful story. I'm not going to lie to you. I shed a little bit of it. I had to pull back a tear last night watching that, because it's very touching, really touching. And I think the UK fans really embrace that, whereas I'm not so sure if the United States fans would get behind a lighter weight fighter like the UK fans got behind Charlie Edwards last night. So this is why I got to take my hat off to the UK fans. Even though we go back and forth on certain issues, I have to say the UK fans are the greatest fans in the world when it comes to boxing. There's no question about it. And they showed that last night with how they got behind Charlie Edwards.
Absolutely. 11 seconds left. 76-77. Duke leads UCF with the ball with 11 seconds left. So,
oh boy!
How about that?
No, the only lighter weight fighter that people in the U.S. supported, and basically it was in his hometown, was Michael Carbajal.
Yeah. Joshua Buatsi versus Liam Conroy. Man, I tell you what, Buatsi looked really good against Conroy. Conroy completely outmatched here. Buatsi was just too strong, too sharp. I'd like to see him get hit a little less. He does get hit a little more than I would like, but Buatsi put him away in the third round. He now improves to 10-0. Beeb, is this guy the real deal?
Well, he's very explosive. He's very dynamic. So he's gifted. He's gifted in those areas. When you have a guy who is just genetically gifted with those fast twitch muscles, you know what that spells? That smells danger for his opponents, because even when a guy like that makes mistakes, he's so explosive that one punch can erase all the mistakes he's made in that fight. And that's what we saw yesterday, because he got touched up a little bit. But again, he is still developing. And as the opponents get better, I'm sure he's going to realize that he's going to have to get better. And I think they'll go back to the drawing board and tighten up a few things. But they have a great base to work with this Buatsi guy. He is a very, very gifted fighter. He's a very gifted fighter. And I think he reminds me a little bit, and I know people are going to say this blasphemous, but he's got a little bit of Roy Jones in him. How he has that explosive style, some of those hooks that he throws. And that right hand was beautiful. That was a beautiful right hand. So I think the upside on Buatsi is really great. And even though he got touched a little bit yesterday, I still think that he'll continue to get better, because he does have the physical tools. Now he just has to pull it all together and just learn how to tighten up the defense a little bit and maybe relax a little bit in there and not get a little bit over anxious, because he seems to get a little over anxious at times. But as the experience starts to develop, maybe he'll start relaxing, and then we'll see a more well-rounded fighter in the future with this kid.
There you go. Incidentally, Duke just won. I think it's 77-76. They had a last-second. It was 8 seconds left. UCF had the ball. They had two good layups, and I thought either one of them would have went in, but they missed them both. Duke rebounds. There you go. And Zion got called for a foul. Zion Williamson got called for a foul that made the three-point play that actually led to them going up, which I didn't think was a foul at all. But, hey, who am I? All right. Anyway, Duke moves on. Robert, our brackets are still alive.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. How about that? Lawrence Okoli versus Wadi Camacho, a cruiserweights. Okoli improved to... Okoli continues to improve. I'm still going over nuts about this Duke thing. He had a fourth-round knockout over Wadi Camacho. Okoli looks good, but again, I mean, these guys do need more fights. No question about it. So, there you go. Now, on DAZN, there was another card on DAZN from Leicester, England. Sam Maxwell versus Sabri Sadiri. Lightweights. This is the classic example when clowning goes wrong. Sam Maxwell was dropped by Sabri Sadiri in the first and second round. He was rocked throughout the fight, okay? Just Sadiri having his way with him. Sadiri then began clowning in the 10th and final round and was caught with a perfect right hand by Maxwell. He got up. He staggered badly. The ref stepped in, stopped the fight at 2:46 of round 10. Had to be a fight he was winning. So there you go. Insane. If you guys, I think Beeb tweeted this out. If you guys hadn't seen it yet, go watch the end of it. It's pretty funny. Heavyweight Nathan Gorman versus Kevin Johnson. Gorman won by unanimous decision over Kevin Johnson, 100-90. The bout was actually scored by one referee, which is actually common in England. Beeb, why do they do that?
That used to be an old UK thing back in the day, and I can't really explain it. I only thought they did that in Ireland. I didn't know they did that in Great Britain. Where was the fight actually?
The UK. Let's see, Leicester.
Okay.
Leicester.
I only thought they did that in Ireland, so I'm not too familiar with why they still do that. But not a great idea. I'm not a fan of that either, Eric. To be honest.
No, the referee's got to do his job.
Yeah.
You know what
I don't like that.
Let him do his job. He doesn't need to do 50 other jobs.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either. So there you go. All right, let's talk about the upcoming fights and tonight. Let's see. Let's get the rundown for tonight. As soon as I can find it. Robert, March 24th. Yep. What is that? Is that a Sunday?
That's today.
Lamont Peterson on Oxon Hill, Maryland, on Fox Sports 1. Lamont Peterson versus Sergey Lipinets, 12 rounds welterweights. Anthony Peterson versus Argenis Mendez, 10 rounds junior welterweights. And Jamonte Clark versus Vernon Brown, 10 rounds junior middleweights. And again, we'll get you out of here to see the main event of that one. And then let's go here, see what's coming up. Robert, on March 29th, what is that?
That would be a Friday.
All right, Friday, March 29th, from Chonburi, Thailand. Robert, he's back. TBE, Wanheng Menayothin, undefeated, 52 or 53-0. Robert, he's the best fighter ever according to Floyd Mayweather. All right? If we're taking Floyd Mayweather stats and what he likes to call, he's the best fighter ever. Wanheng Menayothin versus Tatsuya Fukuhara. It's a rematch. 12 rounds for Menayothin's WBC strawweight title. The best ever, Robert. Why don't they mix in a diamond belt with that guy? The guy clearly deserves it. All right.
Okay.
Now, Saturday, March 30th, from Philadelphia. Robert, our favorite arena, 2300 Arena, ECW Arena. Alexander Gvozdyk versus Dudu. This is his name. That's not me making this up. This is his name. I've looked several different places. This is how you pronounce it. Dudu. It's how the ring announcer will announce it. Dudu and Gumbu. 12 rounds for Gvozdyk's WBC light heavyweight title. This will be on ESPN. Edges Kavluskas versus Ray Robinson. 10 rounds welterweights. And that's about all the names I can pronounce or recognize on there. Sonny Conto versus Omar Acosta.
And this is a disgrace for a light heavyweight champion. His first title defense. You have to put him in a bingo hall that only seats maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people. Bad job, Top Rank. Terrible.
Yeah, Georgie wants me to tell him Dudu's record. I don't know his record right offhand. It's not very good, though. I can tell you that.
No.
Right. Saturday from Liverpool in England on DAZN. Liam Smith, Beeb's boy, versus Sam Egington, 12 rounds, junior middleweights. Your boy, Robert Anthony Fowler versus Scott Fitzgerald, 12 rounds, junior middleweights. John Hughes versus Robbie Davis Jr., 12 rounds for Hughes' European junior welterweight title. David Price versus Cash Ali, 10 rounds heavyweights. And let me see, that's about all the names I recognize on there. Also on March 30th, this is a Golden Boy card from Indio, California on DAZN. Ryan Garcia versus Jose Lopez, 10 rounds lightweights. And a title fight, Angel Acosta versus Ganigan Lopez, 12 rounds for Acosta's WBO junior flyweight title. Let's see what else here. Anything? Antonio Orozco on the undercard versus Jose Rodriguez. Nico Macias on the undercard versus Jeremy Ramos. And again, that's about all I recognize on there. All right, 30th. Is that it? That's it?
Not very impressive.
How dare you, Robert? They're doing the best they can with these cards. Look at you. Just shutting it down. Ryan Garcia versus Jose Lopez. I think that should be a whitewash. Liam Smith versus Sam Egington should be pretty good. It's not your big designer fight or whatever, but I think if we were to ask Beeb right now, he would say that was pretty good. But
no, that's a decent fight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad, right?
No.
It's not bad. I don't hate that.
It's a phenomenal fight, baby.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Dale, thank you. Dale Chi-Town.
Thank you so much, Dale. We appreciate that, man. Thank you very
Notorious.
much.
Yeah, he's one of our loyal supporters, man.
If we get some more super chats tonight, if we get enough of them, maybe the Beeb will do the 5 fingers of death for you guys tonight.
No. Dude.
Get those super chats up. The Beeb will unleash.
Dude, you got to hit
Hey, remember Beeb? I said no overtime because we got to get out of here to watch the fight.
5 fingers of death, Robert.
5 fingers of death, Robbie, takes about.
Come on, Robert.
About a minute and a half, Robbie. Don't start.
Don't start 5 fingers of death.
Don't start hating, Robbie.
Why would you? I don't understand. Like, why would you even come out with that? Why would you even say like, oh no, not the 5 fingers of death? Son, this is legendary. It's legendary. You can't mess with that.
Okay,
Sorry,
fine.
Robert. It is what it is. All right. So I've got a special request here, Beeb, from Jason and Georgie. They want to be on the line at the same time. I think it's a horrible idea.
No, do it.
I think it's
I think it's horrible, but
and
no,
I think,
it's
I'll
horrible.
tell you what.
It's groundbreaking. It's groundbreaking.
This is groundbreaking.
Yeah.
This is what we call groundbreaking now.
The other shows would never do something like this. We got to think outside the box, baby.
Listen,
come on. This is going.
Robbie, stop hating. Robbie.
I'll leave the decision.
It'll be a disaster.
Everyone wants it. Everyone wants it.
Do you guys want it? Hey, by the way, you know what I want? Why isn't it what I want important around here?
Why
isn't what I want? And what I want is some likes, because I'm getting nothing. All right? I've got nothing. I've got a lot of people watching, and I've got
hit the fucking like button, people.
Hit it. Come on, guys.
Smash that goddamn like button.
Yeah. Maybe I ought to do this. Maybe I ought to do the Jason Georgie thing pay-per-view. What do you think about that? Maybe that's what I ought to do.
Everybody wants it. Everybody wants it in the chat. We got to do it. Get them on.
Oh my God, this will be a disaster.
I don't see Georgie on there though. That's the problem. I don't see Georgie.
He's a fucking mental case is what he is.
All right. Jason.
What's going on, guys?
You're live.
Hi, Jason.
So Jason.
Tell me about this. Tell me about this thing with you and tell me about this thing with you and Georgie. What are you guys talking about here?
Well, we'll talk about it later. Let's
talk about it right now because I asked you about it right now.
No, we want to know what it's about because he wants to be.
Because he always Hold on, Robbie. He just has a different perspective on everything compared to me. You know, he says ESPN is doing great. I say ESPN is doing horrible. He says PBC is doing trash. I said PBC is doing great. So we can, just argue for 5 minutes. We won't talk over each other, hopefully. But I was going to say,
hold the line.
What did you guys think about the fight last night?
Hold the line. We're going to
hold on. Let me get my.
Absolutely. All right. So Georgie's going to call in here. We're going to save Jason, And do you guys in the chat want to see this? Is this something
They want
you
it.
guys in the chat want to see?
They want it.
I think it'll be a
'Cause I haven't seen
disaster, but
anybody,
apparently
like,
everybody
mention
else wants it.
They all said they wanted it. You guys want it? Be vocal in the chat. You guys want it? Yes, there's one. Yes,
I think it'll be a
yes.
disaster.
We
all right,
want
hey,
it.
we give
We
you guys
want
what you
it.
Mono, we mono. Georgie, you got to call in. Don't call in from your trap phone. Call in from a real phone this time. While we're waiting for Georgie to call in, 312. Robert, where's 312?
Hey, that's the fight doctor, brother.
Is that the fight doctor? Hold on.
What's your name, man?
My name is the Doctor. I say that my name is the Doctor.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
There you
Yeah!
go. How awesome is that?
Spike Doctor is in the house on Rick James status as always.
I
What's
told
going on,
you.
gentlemen?
I
Well,
told
and
you.
what do you think about that, doctor?
I had to pull a lot of strings for you, Doc.
I'm Rick James, biatch. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you
You're
very much.
welcome.
Excuse the background noise, but I'm in the car. So
Okay.
excuse the background noise.
Don't worry about it.
So, listen, real quick, since you guys mentioned March 29th a little bit earlier in the show, just wanted to let you guys know that March 29th is a very significant date, seeing that it is the Fight Doctor's birthday.
Nice.
Very
Oh,
nice.
cool.
Happy birthday.
So, yeah, so the Fight Doctor will be 47 years old. You know.
All right.
Creeping up on the beat.
Getting a
You're
little
creeping
longer
up
than
on the
two.
beat. Creeping up on the beat. We're going to be in the seniors tournament together, buddy.
Well, I already
Right,
passed that
exactly.
milestone
So-
a few years ago, so.
Robbie, stop clock chasing.
Right, so B, so where's your weight?
It's my weight.
Yeah, where's your weight?
I'm at 205 right now.
Yeah, well, you have to lose some weight, man. I stepped on the scale this morning at 167, so you have to lose some weight, man.
You know what's funny?
Yeah,
Fight
look-
Doctor, I listen to your voice. You sound like a bigger guy.
He does, doesn't he?
You sound like you're like 6'6", 250, Fight Doctor, when I hear you.
Shape, baby.
I mean, no, I
Fighting
didn't
shape.
know you were a super middleweight.
Hey, yeah, he's a super middleweight. He's
I'm
in
not-
shape, brother.
didn't know
I'm
that.
at super middleweight. That's right. Actually, I can make middle.
How tall are you? How tall are you, Fight Doctor? How tall?
I'm 6 feet tall.
Wow, you're lean, Fight Doctor. You're lean. No pizza
I'm
for
at
Fight.
6 feet tall. I can make middleweight.
No pizza for Fight Doctor. You can tell he's disciplined. He's
No cakes,
disciplined.
no corn, no pies, nothing. Fight doctors eating clean, baby.
All right.
That's right. I live a clean lifestyle. Okay, that's right. So, gentlemen, thank you for the very nice intro. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome, brother.
Absolutely, man.
Right, and Georgie, if you're out there listening, hurry up and call in because I need to hear this debate between you and Jason.
Well, Jason just hung up. So, Beeb, text your boy.
Oh, well, damn.
Text your boy and see what he's doing. He's throwing a fit because he didn't get a chance to go.
You gotta start treating this kid better, Eric.
Okay,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I don't.
Anyway, go ahead, doctor.
Hey, go ahead, Fight Doctor.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so wait, so what was supposed to be the debate topic?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know what they were going to
Okay,
talk about.
well,
I have no idea what they were going to talk about. Jason threw in the towel.
well, I would have loved, but since we don't know what the debate topic is, well, the hell with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but since we're talking about debating, Beeb and I actually have some unfinished business. All right, because
No.
we were
Go ahead.
yeah. So we never finished our debate between who's the better fighter all time, Vitaly Klitschko or Mike Tyson.
Wow. I don't know, man.
And
That's
I
a
think
tough.
you were in the Vitaly Klitschko camp.
Who's a
That's a
better
tough-
what? Who's a better fighter, Mike Tyson or Vitaly Klitschko? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson.
I think we were debating who's the better fighter all time, Vitaly Klitschko or Mike Tyson.
Mike
Well,
Tyson.
I think Mike Tyson has more accomplishments than Vitaly Klitschko, but I think if they fought, I think Vitaly would beat him.
No.
I think Billy would be.
Mike Tyson?
I think so. Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so this is coming from the guy. This is coming from the guy who picked Mikey Garcia over Errol Spence, and who also picked Victor Postol over Terrence Crawford.
Wow,
you remember that?
Crawford. What about Crawford? What
about
Amir Khan? Amir
Why
Khan
don't you
over
go?
Canelo.
Why don't you take my grade picks? Tyson Fury over Vladimir Klitschko, Miguel Cotto over Sergio Martinez, Tim Bradley over Manny Pacquiao. What about my great picks that I hit?
Beeb, in all fairness,
okay, well,
look at these 3 and 4 to 1 underdogs that I've picked over the years.
Beeb, in all fairness, Sergio Martinez came in on one leg.
But you guys still picked him to win. Even you, Robbie. Even you.
Yeah, I didn't realize how bad it was.
I told you how bad it was. I was in the camp, and you didn't believe me. Go ahead, Fight Talker.
Yeah, but that was actually not a hard fight to pick. I mean, come on, man. All right, but that still doesn't absolve you of the Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence pick, or the Victor Postol, Terrence Crawford pick. 2 fights which turned out to be whitewashes.
That's right. Those were my worst losses of all time.
So now you're picking Vitaly Klitschko, who has done shit. I mean, honestly, what is Vitaly Klitschko's best win? The loss to Lennox Lewis? I mean, honestly, I think that's his best win. I mean, seriously, who in the hell has Vitaly Klitschko ever beaten?
Samuel Peter?
I mean, look, listen, I open that question up to the whole panel. Right, who has Vitaly Klitschko ever beaten? I mean, give me one good solid win. Just one.
In his defense, though, I will say this. In his defense, he did not have a lot of competition. It wasn't like the Mike Tyson days.
He was in a different era.
But that being said, I think
what are you talking about? He didn't have a lot of competition. He had Lennox Lewis. He had Chris Bird.
He beat him.
Okay.
Didn't he beat him? I thought
he beat Chris Bird.
Or was it his brother that beat him?
No, he lost. He lost to Chris Bird. He lost by knockout. He got knocked out. What are you talking about? He quit.
Okay.
Yeah, he quit because of his shoulder or something. But he was winning that fight, and then he quit because of his shoulder or something. But didn't they fight again? I thought they fought again, and he washed him.
No, that was Vladimir Klitschko.
That was okay.
We're not talking about Vladimir. We're talking about Vitaly.
But who did Mike Tyson? But who did Mike Tyson beat? You could argue that Mike Tyson lost all of his big fights, right? Lost to Holyfield, lost to Lewis.
Mike Tyson beat Michael Spinks. Okay, he beat Michael Spinks. He beat Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes went on and had a great second career after the Mike Tyson loss. Okay? Look, say what you will about where Larry Holmes was in his career at the time of the Mike Tyson loss, but listen, Larry Holmes had only lost 2 hotly disputed decisions to Michael Spinks at the time of the Mike Tyson destruction, okay? Then he went on and actually beat some very good heavyweights after the fact, okay? And was competitive in his losses to some very good heavyweights, okay? One of them being Evander Holyfield. So say what you will about Mike Tyson, but look, he beat some guys, okay? Who in the hell has Vitaly Klitschko ever beaten? Honestly.
Larry Donald? Larry Donald?
Cincinnati's own, baby. Title son.
Larry Donald?
Who?
Larry Donald?
Who? Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, come on. I mean, let's be serious.
Come on, let's take a poll. Let's take
that bullshit, man. Stop.
Let's take a poll. Let's take a poll in the chat. Who wins? Vitaly Klitschko or Mike Tyson? Who wins?
Mike Tyson, son.
Vitaly beat shit. You know who Vitaly beat? Shannon Briggs. Remember Shannon Briggs? He was the lineal heavyweight champion, and Vitaly beat him. Chris Arreola?
No,
Chris
sir.
Arreola?
No, sir.
Come on, man. Kirk Johnson.
Beeb.
And then Shannon Briggs went on to beat George Foreman. He beat Big George Foreman.
George Foreman got ripped off in that fight. George Foreman should have won that fight, Beeb. Come on.
Robbie, stop disputing decisions.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Beeb, crack kills, okay? It does.
Wow.
All right, that's all I have to say. Crack kills.
Robbie, who wins? Vitaly?
I think you can make a reason.
Go ahead.
I think Mike Tyson.
I think you can make a reasonable argument. Yeah, I think you can make a reasonable argument that the best win on Vitaly Klitschko's resume is Corey Sanders. Corey, I'm a golfer, semi-retired, 39-year-old Sanders. I mean, other than Corey Sanders, who in the hell did Vitaly Klitschko ever beat? Seriously.
Well, he almost beat Lennox Lewis.
But almost. Stop.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, Beeb.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Fight Doctor. If they fought 10 times, how many? You think Mike Tyson would beat him 10 times?
No, he would beat him 11. Here is the reason why Vitaly Klitschko loses to Mike Tyson. Okay? All right? First and foremost, he was beaten by lesser fighters. Okay? Let's get that out of the way. All right? And he was beaten by lesser fighters. All right? And then second, he's too slow.
He only has two losses. He only has two losses.
Mechanical.
He only has two losses.
What?
He only has two losses, and one of the losses because he threw his shoulder out. Okay, he had a torn rotator cuff. He was kicking the hell out of. He was beating Chris Bird badly.
God, no, stop. Look, listen. First of all, that narrative needs to be revisited, okay? Because there are two halves to that fight, and in the second half of that fight,
he won every round.
Chris Bird was clowning. Stop. No, please, come on, man. Chris Bird was starting to clown Vitaly Klitschko, man. I mean, come on. He was clowning him in the second half of the fight. Now, he might have, look, Klitschko was winning the first half of the fight. However, Chris Bird his defense was working. His defense was working. He was beginning to find his offense in the second half of the fight, and he was starting to make Vitaly Klitschko look like a clown. He was starting to make him look a bit amateurish. Okay? That's why he quit.
He was up like 8 rounds to 1 or something, or 10 rounds to like 9 rounds to 1 at the time that he stopped fighting.
So then why did he quit?
I still scratch my head. I don't know how bad the shoulder was. All he had to do was hold on for like 2 more rounds. Like when did he stop? In the 11th round, I think.
In the 10th.
In the 10th, right? All he had to do was just stay away for the last 2 rounds, and he would have got the decision. I don't know how badly hurt he was. I don't know. Then the Lennox Lewis fight.
And above beyond that.
Then the Lennox Lewis fight, he got stopped because of a cut.
In the Lennox Lewis fight, he got stopped because Lennox's right hand could not miss. That's the reason why the fight got stopped.
And not only that, but the reason why the fight was.
You think a 6'7" guy that hits like a truck would lose to a 5'10" guy?
Listen, look, hold on, wait.
He was too big.
You have to understand.
He was too big.
Wait, please. What are you talking about? Listen, Mike Tyson had no problem knocking down 6'6", 6'7" guys, okay? He had no problem. That wasn't an issue for him.
He had an 87.
Joe Frazier had no problem. Frazier had no problem knocking down the 6'6" guys of his day.
Yeah, but he
couldn't. This whole notion about Klitschko being too big, that's bullshit, okay?
But he couldn't beat the bigger Foreman, though, could he?
He what?
He couldn't beat the bigger Foreman, though.
Nope. George killed him.
I'm telling you, man. I think Vitaly was too big for Tyson. He had an 87% knockout ratio. He knocked out.
Against who? But against who? Who? Who did he beat?
Thomas Adamek, Orlando Solis, Shannon Briggs, Kevin Johnson, Chris Arreola, a prime Chris Arreola.
Yeah, it sounds like you've been grocery shopping with all those goddamn tomato cans. What are you talking about? Listen, come on, man.
And he beat Danny Williams, and Danny Williams knocked out Mike Tyson, and he beat a guy that And he beat a guy that Mike Tyson lost to.
Beeb, please stop. Beeb, crack kills, man. Crack kills, brother. Okay? Put down the fight. Put it down, sir. 12-step program, bro. 12 steps. 12-step program. Okay, Beeb? 12-step program. All right? I mean, come on, man. Stop.
All right.
Klitschko was too slow for Mike Tyson.
Oh, he had fast hands.
Look, 1989 Mike Tyson would have absolutely positively destroyed Klitschko.
Hey, fight doctor, what about Tyson? Fight doctor, what about Mike Tyson against his brother? Would it be the same outcome?
It'd been the same outcome.
All right.
Except I think Vladimir may have lasted a bit longer than Vitaly because Vladimir actually has a little bit more boxing ability, not enough to keep a pro Mike off of him for 12 rounds. Yeah. However, I think he would have lasted a bit longer. Now, Vitaly, too slow, too robotic, can't move around the ring, can't get away. Listen, a prime Mike Tyson would have been a slaughter. Sorry, but no. Tyson would have beat the dog shit out of Vitaly Klitschko every day of the week, twice on Sunday. Okay? He would have beat the dog shit out of Klitschko. He would have.
I disagree. No. I just disagree.
I'm sorry, but no.
All right, fight doctor. We're going to get moving, man.
I tell you what.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
Go ahead and finish.
All right, gentlemen.
What are you going to say?
I'll just say this. Take a poll. Just take a poll. And then let's
take a poll.
What we get.
All right, we'll take a poll in the chat. Who wins, Vitaly Klitschko or Mike Tyson?
Most of them were picking Tyson. I saw them earlier they were taking Tyson.
Let's do it again. Okay.
Oh, well,
Tyson.
Talk about going back in the memory bank. I had to stop and think about all of Vitaly Klitschko's fights.
Tyson.
Everyone's picking Tyson.
Everyone's picking Tyson.
All right, fight doctor. People agree with you.
All right, fight doctor.
See you later, man. Good call.
Everyone's picking Tyson. One draw.
Yeah. What about Robert? What do you think? Tyson or Klitschko?
I think Tyson beats Vitaly, but I don't know if he beats Vladimir.
Right.
I think Vladimir would be
we got one Klitschko.
I think Vladimir would be a lot tougher than Vitaly.
There you go. All right, so let me give you an update on what's going on here.
Okay.
Georgie is on the line.
Nacho picked Klitschko. Nacho pitched Klitschko.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I feel better. Nacho knows what's going on.
Okay.
There you go. Georgie's on the line. He's waiting. Jason is pouting because we didn't give him any time to talk, which, of course, we were going to give him time to talk to Georgie.
Jason, call in. Jason, call in right now. Call in right now, Jason. Call in right now. I'll make sure Eric doesn't interrupt you.
Oh,
it's my son. You don't disrespect my son, please.
Why don't you, Jason, go ahead and wipe your tears off. Wipe your tears off and call in, man. It's all good.
Stop cyberbullying Jason.
I'm not cyberbullying, man.
Stop with the cyberbullying.
But the problem is, guys, we didn't even know what they were going to talk about.
I'm trying to be nice to him. I'm telling him to wipe his tears off, dry his eyes up, and come on in here, man.
Jason, call back in. We'll let you talk.
We'll let you talk with Georgie on the line. We can't give him 50 minutes to discuss his point. I mean, look, man. I mean, he wants time to talk about 50 other points, and then he wants time to go at it with Georgie. Well, I mean, you can't have that, man.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. Do your thing, but hurry up.
Wow.
We gotta let him burn, Eric. Let's let him burn.
I'm fine with that. Let him call in. Dry his tears up and call in. Hopefully his phone didn't short out from the tears, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and these guys want to do it on a night we have fights. These guys want to do it on a night we have fights.
Robbie,
come on,
please, Robbie.
So Georgie is waiting very patiently. Georgie, we see you in there. Georgie's waiting his turn, waiting for Jason to come in here and kind of sack up and come in here. Which I don't think was going to happen. But while we're waiting for the crybaby to get here, I'm sorry, Beeb. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that, Beeb.
Leave him alone.
Make sure the bottle's ready. Make sure the bottle's ready.
Enough with no cyberbullying. No cyberbullying.
Come on, Robert. That's not necessary. It's not necessary, dude.
Please, Robert.
That's over the line. Beeb, tell him that's way over the line.
Way over the line.
Yeah, it's way over the line. It's all right.
We'll have new Pampers ready.
Oh, come on. All right, area code 214. I think it's Dallas, right? 214.
Yeah, that's Dallas, I believe.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
what's up,
not
man?
much.
Who are we talking to?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Chris. I was the guy that emailed you this week.
Oh, yeah. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I went to I've been trying to call in for a while, but I'm from Birmingham, but I live in Dallas, and I went to the Errol Spence fight. I know this is old news. And,
I know it's never old news when somebody actually went to a fight. No, it's not old. Go ahead.
Robbie.
Yeah, I went to the.
Go ahead,
to the fight. It was a lot of people there. It was about almost. The only row that wasn't packed out was the very top row. And I've been to a couple Wilder fights. And you know, with PBC, you go to the fights. I'm used to getting everything I need because the fights are back to back to back. But the production was very, very slow and kind of drawn out, in my personal opinion.
It was.
But overall, I liked the fight. It was. Did y'all get a chance to see the other guy, Lindolfo Delgado? Was he on TV?
No.
No, he was not. No.
Man, you guys need to take a look at him. I think Garcia's, they were training him as well. I think he might have been on the undercard before TV, but he looked very impressive. I wanted to make a point. I want you guys' opinion. I think Manny Garcia is going to get the winner of Adrian Granados and Danny Garcia, and the reason why I say that is because I think Porter beats him, I think Thurman beats him, and I think Errol Spence kills him, and they're trying to cash out. What do you guys think? And I think
you're talking about Manny Pacquiao, right?
Danny Garcia. Yeah, I think he could beat Granados and Danny Garcia.
Well, like I said earlier, I think the next fight for Manny is going to be Keith Thurman.
Yeah, I think he may be able to deal with Keith Thurman. I don't think he can.
So?
Yeah. Keith Thurman
be able to.
Keith Thurman. I think his style meshes well with Manny Pacquiao's style because they're both kind of like in and out ambush type style. They're both in and out ambush type style fighters, but I don't know. I think Manny throws a lot more punches than Keith Thurman. I think Manny's more offensive minded, and Keith looks to be a very defensive minded fighter nowadays.
And Manny's got a lot more of experience. He's been in a lot more big fights.
I think Keith looks like he's lost his edge a little bit, his mental edge a little bit, and I don't think he's as aggressive as he was. I think he's changed a little bit. I think he's got hurt a few times in some fights, so now I think he's been changing up his style a little bit. He almost got knocked out by Lopez, for Christ's sakes.
Eric, I think you disagree with both of us. Go ahead and throw your 2 cents.
What do you think, Eric?
I don't know. I mean, you know, and we're talking about Pacquiao.
Right.
And, like, it's funny because part of me says this guy is completely washed up. He doesn't move a lot.
He looked bad against Broner to me.
What's that? Did you say
he looked bad against Broner?
I think so too. I didn't think he looked great.
I think Broner could have won that fight.
I didn't think he looked great. I didn't think either one of them the guys looked great.
Eric said the same thing. Yeah, he did.
You know, so I mean, Keith Thurman should be able to walk right through this guy, but Keith Thurman went life and death in his last fight. I mean, he almost got knocked out. What do I make of that? You know, what am I supposed to make of that? You know, I mean, Sean Porter, I think, washes him. I think that Errol Spence kills him. But between Thurman, I mean, Thurman hasn't looked
now.
Great. You know, I don't know.
Do you think the reason why I say that? I think he beats Garcia and Granados, no question. What do you guys think?
Well, our point is I don't think he's going to get a shot at either Dan, because once he beats Thurman, the next thing they're going to do is stick him in against Spence.
But that Danny Garcia Keith Thurman fight, I thought
could have risked Thurman. Yeah.
I thought that Danny Garcia Keith Thurman fight could have gone either way. I thought that fight was razor close.
Right.
So if you think he beats Garcia, then you know I don't know. I know Styles make fights, but wouldn't you think he would have a decent shot against Thurman too? Like, do you think that Thurman? Are you like 100% sure that Thurman beats him, or are you like kind of like it's a 50-50 fight or a 60-40 fight, or do you think it's an easy fight for Thurman style wise? Where do you stand on that?
I think it's an easy fight for Thurman.
Okay. Yeah,
Thurman didn't look too good, but I mean he did have the layoff.
Yeah.
He did get married. No excuses, but I just didn't think Pacquiao looked good against Broner.
Yeah, Eric didn't either. I thought he did, but Eric said he didn't, so I don't know.
You could tell his legs are gone, man. I mean, and the only thing that you know,
Yeah,
like I said, Broner's throwing what, 8 punches around? That's not going to get it done.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, who could picture him in there with Porter?
Okay.
You know, don't know.
Well, Eric, if it's the Sean Porter we saw against Ugas, that's a real problem. I think the real Sean Porter's got to show up in his next fight. He's very lucky he still has that title.
I think so too, but I think he fights Pacquiao much different than he fought Ugas. Ugas is a different type of guy.
That was just a disgusting fight plan. I mean, he's lucky he still has that title.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought he lost it, but yeah, that's only me.
Well, all right, guys, that's all I got for today. I have some other stuff, but I want to go watch the fight, and I know a lot of other people want to call.
All right, man.
We appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys' show, man.
Don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. Call back again.
Right.
Call back again, brother.
No, I'm going to start calling.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I swear I didn't.
All right.
Call back again next week, man. We appreciate it. Area code 805.
Hello, Nacho.
805, you're live.
Hey, Nacho.
What's up?
What's going on, Notch?
What's happening on?
What's up, Notch?
Nothing much. All I got to say about Fight Doctor's career comparisons between Vitaly Klitschko and Mike Tyson, he must have lost his damn mind, because how is it that he's going to sit there and bash Klitschko's resume, but yet he claims that Mike Tyson's best win all time is Michael Spinks, a light heavyweight? Really? Is that what we've resorted to now?
Remember,
Bobby! Go ahead, Nacho.
And remember, this is the same guy that calls triple G triple duck all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean. Like, he's over here bashing one guy, but then he gives all the credit in the world to one guy beating the hell out of a small light heavyweight. Come on, that's not even funny. That's just ridiculous at this point. As far as this weekend's fights, the top rank card with Magdaleno, and I don't know what the hell happened to Ramos. Maybe it's just he's gotten into that idea of just being an opponent nowadays, but he literally looked like he just showed up to collect a paycheck last night.
That's all he was there for.
Horrible performance on his part. Yeah,
I felt bad for Jesse.
That was a horrible performance on his part. Yeah, and but then also too, Robbie, Magdaleno didn't really step on the gas like he should have. Seeing that a guy's there just to collect a paycheck, he should have gone for the jugular and tried to get him out of there. Instead,
I
he
agree.
Hosted and accepted the fact that he didn't want to fight, and he let him survive, which is terrible. He should have gotten him out of there.
Yeah, I know.
mean, it is what it is. Magdaleno wins. I don't know. Hopefully they can get a more live body for him at 26, because he's talking about trying to fight one of the guys with a belt. Beating Rico Ramos doesn't qualify as a prelude to fighting well.
Now, I heard earlier today, and you guys can confirm or deny this, but Carl Frampton is now signed with Top Rank.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
oh yeah, that's already been confirmed.
Yeah. So I wonder how Frampton would do against Magdaleno.
I don't know.
I think that's too big of a step up for Magdaleno right now, Robbie. I think you got to find someone a little bit closer to his. I think a really good step up for Magdaleno would be a guy like the guy that just lost his tug a few weeks ago, Marrero.
Oh, okay.
Somebody like that.
Because last night, last night during his fight, all they kept talking about was Magdaleno fighting Oscar Valdez.
Yeah, I think that would go really wrong for Magdaleno at this point. I think Valdez is just a way better fighter. I didn't see anything last night that would make me think that Magdaleno could beat Valdez. Did you?
No, Oscar would kill him.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully they can get a guy who's a little bit more of a live body in this next fight. And then as far as the main event, I was surprised. I did not think Dinu would put up much of a fight. I honestly thought he would get blown out of there in a few rounds, like the way Big Baby took him out when he fought him. But he put up a better performance last night than I thought he would. But I gotta give Pulev credit. He got hurt and he looked like he was in trouble, and you thought, oh wow, he might lose this fight. But he came back and he just ended up taking over the fight and beating up on Dinu at the end. Although I do have one complaint about the ref. That was a horrible decision to allow him to continue after he got dropped the second time. You could see that Dinu was done. He didn't even know where he was at or anything. And the ref let him get up and wipe his gloves off and basically just let Pulev tee off on him. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, that's awful. The guy's out on his feet. You might as well just stop the fight at that point. I don't understand why he let him continue. He just ended up getting dropped again and even worse the last time. So that was terrible. But, it's a good win for Pulev. I'm curious to see if they are going to try to enforce the mandatory against Joshua, because he is the IBF #1 contender. So Aram said he would. So it'll be interesting to see how they work that out after Joshua fights Miller in June. See if he takes him on. And then as far as the fights in England, that Joshua, how do you say his last name? Buatsi? I'm not sure how to say his last
Joshua
name.
Buatsi.
Buatsi. Yeah, that guy is impressive. I mean, he blew out his guy again, and he looked good doing it. I don't know. I'm starting to think that maybe that guy might be a better prospect than Anthony Yard at this point. Like, it seems like they're matching him in with better competition, and he's putting guys away a lot faster than Anthony Yard is. And I know that they tried to make that fight, according to Eddie Hearn. He offered Warren a career-high payday to put Yard against Buatsi in there, and they said, no, that's okay, we'll pass. So maybe they know that he's a lot better fighter than Anthony Yard, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of what's the next step up for Buatsi, because I mean, he's better than a lot of these guys are putting him in now. At some point, they got to get somebody with a name in there that can take him some rounds for sure, because that's what he needs at this point. He needs to fight a veteran who can take him some rounds and see what he's, what he looks like as he goes deeper into the fight. And then Charlie Edwards, I knew he was going to win that fight. I wasn't all that impressed by the Martinez. I think his name was Martinez, or I'm not sure, Angel. What was his name? Angel Martinez, or the opponent? I just knew that Edwards was going to look good, and sure enough, he did. He just completely outboxed the dude and made him look, like an amateur in there, and, he did what he had to do. I'd like to see Edwards unify at some point, because the guys at 12, although there's some decent names, there's really no stars in that division anymore. So it'd be interesting to see if they can maybe get a unification against one of the other guys holding the belts in that division. Maybe the guy that beat Valoria, Dakiem, I think his name is. He might be available, but we'll see. And as far as the fights tonight, I like Lamont Peterson. I always have. He's never been in a bad fight as far as I could remember. But I'm starting to wonder if maybe this isn't more of a showcase for Sergey Lipinev tonight. It'll be interesting to see what Peterson looks like for sure. I'm picking Peterson, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lipinev ended up pulling off the upset tonight. And really quick, guys, did they ever say why they took Sakio Bika off the card? Because he was supposed to fight tonight, and now all of
medical.
a sudden they canceled his fight.
Yeah, he failed his medical.
Oh, he failed his physical?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that because they were talking about him making a comeback, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, he's not on the card anymore. So I was wondering what had happened.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, that's my call, guys. I know you guys got it.
Nacho, did you get a chance to see Charlie Edwards this
weekend?
Yeah,
I saw. That's the fight I was talking about right now.
Yeah, he talked about that, Eric.
The Spanish dude. Yeah.
Yeah, Moreno. Yeah, Moreno.
Yeah, Moreno. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking his name was Martinez for some reason. Yeah, he looked good, but like I said, there's no stars in that division. I think if anything, he's going to have to try and maybe unify, maybe get one of the other belt holders in there with him because all the really good 112ers are all at 15 now. So, I mean, I don't know what you do other than maybe try to unify, you know, because there's not a whole lot of star power in that division. So, yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. Well, that's my call.
All right. Thanks, Nacho.
All right. See you.
All right. So let's go back to the phones here.
From this day, you'll be my new fool.
Georgie.
Hey, what's happening, people?
Georgie,
what's up,
happening?
Georgie?
So here's the deal.
What's going on, Robbie, my brother? Let me before this get uncivilized, let me holler at you for a little bit. Let's talk some women boxing. Talk to me, Robbie. What's up with Clarissa? What Clarissa is doing?
What are you talking about?
Robbie! Talking about Clarissa Shield. What she doing? Talk to me about some women boxing.
Well, she's going to lose. That's what's going to happen.
Jesus Christ, Robbie, you see, that's what, you got to watch more boxing.
No, on April 13th, it's going to be hammer time, okay?
So you're picking Hammer on that fight?
Yes, I am.
Wow. You don't watch no boxing.
Yes, I am.
I dedicate more time to boxing and leave that blood sugar app alone for a little bit.
Give me a break. Anyway, is Jason around? Can we get this over with?
Robbie! I love you, baby. I love you. Just fucking with you. Let me put some work on Jason.
Well,
let's go some mano. Give him 2 minutes so he can get out of his chest. I'll let him throw the first punch.
Hang on. Let me explain what's going on. He's texting me right now. He's upset. I guess he's upset. He doesn't want to call in. So that's a one-sided win. That's a one-sided win for Georgie.
You know what it is?
Georgie showed up, and Jason was nowhere to be found.
He's kicking shit is what it is. He's just a coward.
Wow. Robbie shaming Jason.
Oh, easy now, Robbie. Easy now. Easy. Let's not throw this in the universe out there like that.
Georgie, maybe you
family emergency. You never know.
Georgie, maybe you can answer a question.
Emergency.
What were you two supposedly going to debate in the first place?
Well, we're supposed to talk about PBC and the man, the love that this man got for that side is ridiculous. I mean, I let a lot of shit fly. Tried to see, because he want to talk about how Bob don't put fights together.
Well,
and you want to talk about the numbers.
You do have to admit,
you
do have to admit, Georgie, they've been putting on the better fights.
Baby, but if you got fucking 8 eggs out of the dozen, you're supposed to make the bigger omelet out there. You're supposed to feed the most people. We got this. What we talking about here? The guy who got the most supposed to give the most. If I'm poor and I only give 50 cents, let's say to the fucking Cancer fucking Cure Association, it's because I don't have nothing else in the package. But if you're a millionaire and you give 50 cents, you look stupid.
Yeah, but I don't understand what the debate is. The PBC are currently putting on the better fight, so I don't understand where the problem comes in.
Because of what I just explained to you. If you got this world to listen, this is the problem I got. I got to take a shot to Eric here.
Yes.
And I got to take a shot at you. And I got to take a shot at Beeb. This is the situation. You guys have come here and said got Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, all these welterweights, Arrow, all these welterweights will put word on the greatest welterweight of all time, one of the greatest of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson. So you tell me Ugas beat Porter easily, so Ugas will put work on him too?
Yeah. Yeah, if you look at the fighting styles.
Get the fuck out of here, Eric.
Go look at tape of him.
Now Ugas beat fucking Sugar Ray Robinson.
In this time. Yes, he would. If you take his style of fight and you put it in the ring now, he gets demolished.
Who, Manny Pacquiao?
No.
No. Sugar Ray Robinson.
Oh.
Yeah, niggas absurd. Absurd. Ridiculous. No respect for fucking past. Listen, we're standing in the shoulder of giants, bro. What we talking about here? I just don't get it. How could you compare those times with these times, man?
You can't.
Like the work of these people. You know, listen, man, that 8 count that we got here wasn't there. How many Rocky Marciano film have you seen Rocky hitting the dude on the ground? Huh? The rule wasn't there. People used to die there. Like, really, I mean, they die here because a punch get fucked up, but they didn't let it. Yo, it wasn't the same. Not even close. Not even close. And say that these people got better understanding that the boxing we got back in the days, I just don't see it. You tell me it's mixed martial arts, yeah, I agree. MMA all day long, yeah. That will be all these fucking old fucking school fucking time, because it's all combined. But that, only that sport that, you don't got the word for it, but you know what I'm saying? That discipline of boxing, of hand combat, maybe that the angles and all that the training have changed, yeah. But the angle haven't changed. Humanity haven't changed that they perceive punches better coming. I mean, it's the same fundamental. Gravity is the same. Motherfuckers not be able to take a punch in the chin is the same. People who can crack is the same. So I don't know about this fucking technique you guys referring this fuck. What's the story on this? What are we talking about? Because this is an opinion, Eric. What are we talking about?
It's my opinion. It's my opinion that if you take Sugar Ray's fighting
but
style,
this is not based on no scientific nothing. What are we talking about? Is it?
Well, I don't know that we can resurrect Sugar Ray and bring him in the ring. So yeah, we're not talking about facts here. Just talking about my opinion.
Okay, so just let it be like that then. So that's all I want to get through. So we're talking about opinions. That's okay. But for you guys to say something like be so firm on it, I thought you guys had some type of backing. Because, I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest and say that these people, all these people, even Ugas put fucking work on him. Bro, you know how like this don't sit good with boxing fans, right?
It's my opinion. I mean, look, okay, so if we took Joe Gans, do you know who Joe Gans is? One of the great all-time fighters.
Nigga, fuck Joe Gans. Nobody even knows Joe Gans. We're talking about Sugar Ray the fucking Robinson.
Listen, how about this one? How about Henry Armstrong? You know who Henry Armstrong is, right?
Yeah, okay.
Would you agree that he's one of the best fighters ever?
Yeah.
Right? And would you agree that if we put him in the ring...
when you have to jump real fucking weight division, wasn't no junior shit like this today.
Absolutely.
There wasn't no fucking you coming back fucking the day after 20 plus fucking pound heavy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That being said,
I know those days. Yeah, I know what happened.
If we put him in the ring against one of the guys from today's styles, a champion from today's styles, you think he would win?
Baby, but that right there, the equation is fucked up because you just said it yourself. One of today's champions back then was a champion. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. When back then there was a champion. All these fucking belts that fucking surges in what, the 70s? And this is why the equation don't make no sense. When you got fucking in the same weight division, like 10 cats claiming to be the champion of the world, there's something wrong with that. That right there, you theory that now that shit goes fucking under the riverside. Oh, no water.
So you don't think?
It's not the same. Back then there was only one champion per division.
Right.
And now we got like 10.
Right.
Well, and remember, Georgie, back then there were fewer weight classes. Now I believe there's 17 different weight classes, if I'm not mistaken.
You don't think there was a difference
That's
style-wise?
how you're going to have these people picking and choosing. That's why they pick and choose the way to fight. Back then, somebody challenge had to be like Mikey challenge. Real fucking weight difference.
Was Sugar
You know,
Ray
but you know
tougher?
what? I'm just going to leave that alone.
Right, but was Sugar Ray tougher?
Listen, I got half an hour. I'm going to try to go live. I'm going to jump on the computer so I can take this fight live on the show. So you've got to send me the link. I don't have a lot to say. Jason, hopefully we can make it another day.
He doesn't want to.
I'm going to play the B-side. You're the call of the year. I'm going to give you respect whenever you're ready, champ. I'm here. Everybody out there, Boston, the UK, the world, baby. Holler at me. Ringside Reporter. Former champ.
See you, George.
Go. Former champ, like that. I like that. Because I'm the champ, you know. So anyway, Jason was in the chat, and he says that I'm keeping him from calling in. I can assure you, Beeb can assure you, he can call in anytime. So, Beeb, is that correct?
Yes.
Call in anytime. So
yes.
There you go. But
call
you
in.
missed your opportunity with Georgie. So,
yep.
Oh, well. Hey.
Georgie wants you to send him a link so he can come on, so he can stick the pie in his face live.
Oh, you know what? That's a good idea. That's a good
That's
idea.
what he wants.
Does he have? You know what? If he has Skype, we can do it. I'm sure he has Skype, and we can put him on camera or whatever, and he can do it right there. That's perfect. Yeah, we
Skype.
can totally do that.
Skype in, Georgie. Skype in.
But I got to give him. The number 2 Skype in. I got to give him that offline because he can't really.
Right.
Here. So, all right. News and rumors. Tyson Fury announces his next opponent. As we discussed earlier this week, Tom Schwartz will be Fury's next opponent. The fight is scheduled to take place at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas on June 15th. Robert, thoughts?
Well, as I said when you first told me, my first reaction was, who? and because we have done this show, I think 3 years, or almost 3 years. And so that means the three of us pretty much know everybody that there is to know in boxing.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. We don't know everybody.
Well, we do our best, okay? And when the three of us were posed with the name Tom Schwartz, we all had the same reaction. Who? You know, that makes us look bad. Now, on Friday's show, Eric said that he went back and looked at tapes and thought that he was pretty good. Beeb said he was going to go back and do some homework, and it'll be interesting to see if Beeb has done that and to see if Beeb has any thoughts, because he's the one that can break down fights. And they showed some clips of him on ESPN last night, and from what I saw, it's like, I don't know what to think. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here, but this is highly disappointing. I said that on Friday when we talked about this. I'm going to say it today. It's highly disappointing. At least Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder have opponents that we're familiar with. And yes, we know what Wilder's going to do with Brazil. It's questionable what Joshua's going to do with Miller, because it's not as cut and dry. Miller presents some things that Joshua is going to have to figure out. So I think it's going to take Joshua longer to possibly win the fight. But it's going to be a tougher fight. We have no idea what to look for here with Tyson Fury and Tom Schwartz. We've never seen Tom Schwartz before. We don't know. We can only go by what's on YouTube and what people have said that have actually seen him. So I don't know. It's again, we're on this hamster wheel of talking about Wilder, Fury, and Joshua, and they have all decided to go in different directions. Now, Beeb, I am curious. Did you go back and look at this guy? And if you did, what do you think?
I did not, Robbie. Thanks for putting me on the spot.
Okay. All right. Because you said you were going to do that on Friday. You know,
Robbie, come on. You could have asked me before.
Yeah.
You're breaking the third wall again, Robbie. You're breaking the third wall.
Well, hey, Eric posed a question, so I'm posing a question. But look, I view the whole thing.
You answer the question. Don't throw me under the bus.
I view this as a highly disappointing on Fury's part. He could have got a name opponent like the other two have. I mean, like for example, why couldn't Fury have fought Pulev last night?
But Robbie, you're basing this off a clip that ESPN showed you yesterday.
Well, and that's not a whole lot to go by.
So how do you know the guy's bad then if you only saw a clip on ESPN yesterday?
Well, he's beaten 24 donuts, 2 dozen worth. We don't know any of the opponents he's beaten.
Yeah, but you haven't seen the guy fight though.
You never seen the guy fight, Robbie. You see clips.
Hopefully on June 15th they'll put it on TV, and I can't see it.
Robbie, if I was going to sell you a car, and you looked at it but you never drove it, would you say the car sucked?
I can't. Since I can't drive, that's a bad analogy.
Robbie, I'm speaking hypothetical, Robbie. I'm speaking hypothetical. Don't try your little tricks. Would you say it sucked if you never drove it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
anyway. No, I find the whole thing disappointing. But anyway, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, you call them boxers' donuts. You don't call boxers' donuts.
Yeah, 2 dozen worth of donuts.
Pretty sure they could have. I'm pretty sure every one of those guys could have smashed us. You know.
Yeah, I know. But
boxers' donuts. This is what we're resorting to.
Well, I could have said 2 dozen eggs.
All right.
Eggs. What's the matter with you?
Are you hungry or something? Didn't you eat supper tonight?
No. I'll eat supper after the show. You know.
Jesus Christ!
Come on.
All right, let's get to our train wreck of the week here.
Adrian Broner.
Hold on. Do that again. Robert interrupted, as he's prone to do with everybody. Do it again.
Chugga,
wow.
There you go.
That was beautiful.
That's where I draw the line, Robbie. You don't interrupt Elena, for Christ's sakes.
She's the highest paid person on this show.
Do you know we just gave Elena a raise and we increased her benefits package, and you're treating her like this?
You know how much
dare you?
Voice lessons cost each month, Robert? Do you have any idea? And you're over here interrupting my girl.
Please.
Yeah, and now you have to pay for the DAZN increase.
No, I actually go down in the DAZN increase.
No,
it's $8.33 a month.
I actually got a discount, Robbie. So
okay, good for you.
So there, Robbie.
Yeah.
Exactly. Reese Mack just said Robbie interrupted the girl too.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Horrible.
Come on.
I'm having fun tonight. Anyway, go ahead, Eric.
All right. Train wreck of the week. Adrian Broner goes on a rant against gay people. Adrian Broner, according to TMZ, is now threatening to attack and even shoot gay people in a new video posted to his social media account on Tuesday night. This is his quote, not mine. "If I got a gun on me, I'm shooting you in the effing face. That's on God and them. I'm not playing with none of these N-words. I don't like gay S, you know."
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Eric,
what is wrong with this guy?
Eric, you're so cute. You didn't even say shit. You said S. Aren't you adorable? Aren't you adorable?
I'm looking clean, baby.
I'm jealous of you. I'm going to stop swearing now just because of that.
I've got kids. They're watching. What am I?
The guy needs to be locked up in a mental institution. He shouldn't be allowed to fight anymore. He's taking too many shots.
Yep, I agree. And I don't know what he's going to do next. I really don't. I mean, yesterday, Joe Lopez, 40 ounce, said that yesterday TMZ put out another video of Broner getting handcuffed. Yeah, I don't know, man. That guy's got some issues, man.
Lock him up, throw away the damn key. I mean, my God, that's the only way you're going to keep him out of trouble.
Oh, come on. All right, Anthony Yard, The WBO has ordered Anthony Yarde versus Sergey Kovalev, which, you know, it doesn't mean a lot when the WBO or any sanctioning body really orders a fight, you know. But it's what they ordered. Now, Anthony Yarde is what, 10-0? Is that right, Beeb? He's something around there, right?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that, yep.
Anthony Yarde's team said that they want the fight to take place in England because they are the A side and they want more money and all this other good stuff. Am I hallucinating here? I mean, since when is a 10-fight guy the A side against a champion, especially like one as accomplished as Kovalev?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. You know, we have to make we have to try to distinguish between like the more accomplished fighter or the bigger name. Now, could we make an argument that Yarde is a bigger draw in the UK than Kovalev is anywhere, really? With all due respect to Kovalev, he's just not really a ticket seller. So if you look at that in terms of, you know, attention and stuff like that, I hate to say this, but Yarde may have an argument here.
That's what they were saying, and that's exactly what they were saying in this. But, you know, I mean, let me pose this conspiracy theory to you. Could it be that Yarde's not ready at 10-0 to fight a guy like Kovalev yet? And this is their way of getting out of the fight or making the fight not happen?
He's 18-0, Eric, with 17 knockouts.
He is 18-0. Okay, that's different then.
Thank you, Reese Mack.
Thank you, Reese Mack.
Thank you, Reese Mack. Thank you. I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know. I know the guys that fought this week, maybe they were 10-0. I don't know. So, yeah. All right, so 18-0. So I think he's definitely ready for Kovalev then at 18-0.
Well, I still don't know if he's ready for Kovalev even at 18-0, but I'm just saying. Yeah. I don't know. I think Kovalev beats him myself. I like Anthony Yarde, but I don't know. I just think that I think Buatsi has a better chance against Kovalev than Yarde does. That's my opinion. I like Buatsi better than Yarde. That's just me.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so let's see here. DAZN, we talked about this earlier. DAZN will increase prices, kind of. DAZN announced this week that it would increase prices from $9.99 to $19.99. If you already have DAZN, you'll continue to pay $9.99 for the year. But you can pay it up front, and it would only be $8.33 or $9.99 for a year. Then the price will jump. If you pay, $99 up front, once that price jumps, you'll actually pay $8.33 a month for it. Either way, it's cheaper, and it's about the same price as Showtime and all the other stuff. So there you go. Alexander Usyk will make his much anticipated debut at heavyweight against Carlos Takam. Now, this is the interesting part. The fight will take place in Chicago on May 18th, which is the same day as Wilder in Brazil. Robert, what are your thoughts on Carlos Takam and Alexander Usyk? I like the fight. I think it's a really
I love the fight because I think Usyk wins.
Yeah, I think it's a solid fight, man. Solid fight.
But it'll probably be on DAZN or one of those other platforms because Showtime is going to be showing Wilder Brazil. So
there it is. Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao took to social media to ask fans who he should fight next. The names were Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and I can't remember the other two names. It's not important. The name that's important was not on there. No mention of Errol Spence Jr. in that poll. What do you make of that, Robert?
Well, I think he's an educated man. He's a smart man, and he realizes that after what he saw last Saturday, that he'd have a real difficult time with Spence. So I think he wants to avoid him as long as possible. But I got news for him. If he beats Keith Thurman, I think his next fight will be Errol Spence because they'll set up a unification fight. And in between time, Spence could take on Porter and get Porter's title. So what you could have is you could have Pacquiao beating Thurman, you could have Spence beating Porter, and then you'd have those two fighting for all four belts. and Spence would take the belt, you know, and the only one he would need would be Crawford's.
See, the difference between Pacquiao and all these other guys is, I mean, Pacquiao went to that Spence-Garcia fight just to see, you know, how Spence would look, and Spence looked too good for his own good, so that's why he's not getting the Pacquiao fight. But Pacquiao still is a name. He can still draw. He doesn't really have to fight Spence. Now, these other guys, I don't think they can draw as well as Spence. Maybe, arguably, Danny Garcia can draw well at the Barclays, but he can't put 47,000 in the stadium like Errol Spence did. So at the end of the day, all these guys, if they want to make some money, they're going to have to fight Spence. That is, if they don't fight Pacquiao first. So if I have a feeling that Manny Pacquiao will fight the winner of Danny Garcia, Adrian Granados. Someone who said that?
That's what Nacho said.
Nacho, I agree with Nacho on that. But I think Sean Porter's going to have to fight Errol Spence, or he's going to be on the shelf for a while. If he's going to be waiting around for Manny Pacquiao, because.
Beeb, you think Pacquiao will fight the winner of Garcia Granados? You don't think he'll fight Thurman next?
Maybe he'll fight Thurman, but I kind of think he's going to. I don't know. I think maybe he'll take the easiest fight, which will be the winner of the Danny Garcia Granados, in my opinion.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that could be.
Because I thought I had it set up perfectly. You have Pacquiao beat Thurman, you have Spence beat Porter, and then there you go.
All right, there it is. All right. So, last but not least, Jenny Lewis's new album. Jenny Lewis, who we're told loves our show, has her album On the Line that came out this week. So go out there and support her. It's available on iTunes, and if you look in the corner right there, that's the cover of the album. So you guys know which ones, which one to buy or whatever. Jenny Lewis, friend of the show, and hopefully with any luck, and she's busy, man. She's a very busy person, so we get it. But hopefully she can come on at some point and talk to us. But how about that, Beeb? Beeb, she's got a new album and everything.
Whenever she's ready, we'll do a show just for her.
Absolutely. She's awesome, man. She's awesome. So, so that's the deal there. All right, we got one more caller here before we jump off of here. And it's Jason. And I'm going to let him go because I know his feelings are hurt. And I'll let him talk. Jason, you're live.
What's up, Eric? Shut up, Eric. Beeb, you watched you were DVRing the PBC event?
Yeah, I'm DVRing it. I am. Yes, I am.
Well, one thing I also noticed, like last night I was watching, I saw some of the ESPN event, but I had no interest in that fight. You know, like I was watching, look at their ring and like their corner post. They had like this fucking janky ass promotional like letters written on their side post that said Amir Khan versus Crawford pay-per-view. You could barely even see it. The letters were so horrible. It looked like somebody just went to the dollar store and bought like a fucking plastic and printed it on it. Like that's how cheap the production was, you know? I'm watching the show right now, and you've got they're showing Peterson in the locker room with cameras. They're doing sideline interviews with Peterson, with Jordan Hardy. They've got Hurd sitting in the middle of Mancini and the Fox guy. You know, like they're showing their fighters like every 2 minutes. And last night, they could have done all this fucking promotion for Amir and Crawford. They did nothing. And like Robbie said, all this showed was still pictures. I mean, what the fuck? That makes no sense to me. That was a missed opportunity, and they did like 500K viewers last night. I mean, those are the type of ratings PBC does on Fox Sports, and that's what ESPN Boxing is doing, you know? So if that continues, I don't think they're going to stay in boxing too long. And you're right. They have the Friday night production feel. It's like they gave him the old Friday night crew, and PBC got the UFC crew at Fox. That's why they look so good. Even their lighting and production on TV looks so much better. I don't know what's going on. What do you think, Beeb?
Oh, I was texting you, I think it was this morning about that. I was going to text you last night about it. I can't remember. Did I text you this morning or last night about it? But I thought the production for ESPN was horrible.
Yeah, you did.
I thought the production for ESPN was horrible. And you know how in favor of I am with what Fox is doing with the fighters and showcasing them and putting them out there. I couldn't say enough good things about Fox right now. I think Fox is doing a tremendous job.
And just now, the Fox card just started. They're putting pictures of fucking Hurd on TV right next to Jared. I mean, what's his name? Odell Beckham Jr. side to side, like showing the fans like how they look. You know, I mean, that's going to promote him. I mean, ESPN doesn't do shit like that for their fighters. Like, that's a little thing, but the casuals will probably tune in and Google fucking Jared Hurd's name after that. He looks just like him. Things like that. You know, he's just standing next to the arena talking to fucking them like Lampley used to with Roy Jones and shit. Those are the kind of looks they're giving him. Have you seen any top-ranked fighters ever allowed to commentate fights like this on ESPN or no? I haven't.
Nope.
It's like a family affair. They don't let anybody in there except Bradley Ward. They're really fucking controlling. You know, PBC is like freewheeling. They let anybody come sit on the table, talk for a couple of hours, and go home. And that's how.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure they get paid for that too. You know.
And Robbie, you know, you guys are saying you guys didn't like the pay-per-view production for Fox. I talked to some like casual people. They said they liked the production, but they said the interviews are a little long. But they said it looked like a big sport. You know, like they made the event really big. That's
the only thing, Jason, the only thing, Jason, they need to do is cut the time between fights, because most PBC events, even on TV, they move real fast. The pay-per-view last week was really slow.
Maybe they need to tell the Fox people to watch a Showtime PBC pay-per-view and take some notes. You know, that's probably the best thing to do. That can be a hard fix. They should just watch a PBC, the Wilder and Fury event, and maybe copy that. They have the same crew, kind of. They can fucking, you know, make some changes.
Yeah.
Less sideline interviews and shit. Also, what was I going to say? Anthony Peterson's about to fight, and this is a 50-50 fight, the first one. You're DVRing it, Robbie?
Yeah, I DVR'd both the undercard and the main event, so it's recording now.
Yeah. There's this kid, Truck Simpson, from Tank's Gym. That kid looks like a fucking beast. He was on the prelims, and keep a look out for him.
I mean, Jason, like I told Georgie when he was on, you can't argue against PBC right now. They're putting on the best shows.
Yeah, that's why I just didn't want to argue with him, because I just thought he can't fucking change his mind. But did you see that fight last night where it was? It was in a 500-seat arena in L.A. And, you know, did you see that World Boxing News article today where Aram said Eddie's a moron, he doesn't know the American market, he should just go back to UK? But I just looked at the top-ranked schedule. They put Pulev in L.A., they're putting Grotesque in Philadelphia, they're putting Beeb in Stockton, L.A. I mean, does that make sense, Robbie? I don't know.
No, because especially in Vozdek's case, he's a light heavyweight champion. He just beat Adonis Stevenson, and his first title defense has to be in a bingo hall. Really? He doesn't deserve that. He deserves a lot better.
Against a guy like Dudu Brown. Dudu. What's his name? Last name? I don't know his last name. It's African kid.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Yeah. But
that'll just bring his profile down. That'll probably bring his fame down. People will be like, "What the fuck is this?" And you know he's a boring fighter. Grotesque is not the most entertaining guy. So if you don't have a guy that's going to chase him around like Stevenson, he can sting the joint out, right? I think so.
Yeah, well, I think he'll win this.
I think, Jason, that you'll be docking me for far too long. That's what I think. Would you be docking me like this, huh? We're still with you, Mr. Caller of the Year. Surprise,
Oh, he left? He just dropped?
You got to say for yourself.
He hung up, Georgie.
He just dropped?
Yeah.
One-punch knockout on Georgie Porgy.
Oh, what
the quickest knockout ever.
What a baby.
Record on YouTube.
Oh, my God, he left.
What a baby, son.
Nice setup. Oh, what's happening, baby?
Hey, Georgie, you just set yourself up for another title shot. Way to go.
This is how we do it in B-Town.
Look at Jason says look. All right, so Jason and Beeb, you know this for a fact. Jason says in the chat that I just hung up on him. You know that's nonsense.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
BS, son. He hung up. As
he
soon
ran.
as Georgie came
Dark
on, he got
Master.
embarrassed.
They call that nigga the Dark Master. Fiend Doctor.
Well, he ran.
Like I said earlier, he's chicken shit.
Well, he ran.
He did.
Hey, Robbie, I fought you early, but now I'm not going to fight you. Go ahead and say it. Chicken shit.
Yep, that's exactly what he is. He's chicken shit.
No, nobody hung up on you, son.
Come on, Jason. It's
Nobody hung up on you, son. If you want to call back, call back.
You know we love you.
Well,
that's all right, man.
He waiting for me to drop. You know him. I'm going to let him have his scope. Pull him back. I'm going to let him have his scope. Everybody comes up and support the channel.
All right.
All right, man.
Thanks, Georgie.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Oh, wow.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for
You're
Jason.
embarrassed. He's your boy. He's your boy, son.
I'm embarrassed for him.
He bailed out twice.
I always taught him to
twice. And then the best part is he tries to blame me. He's like, Eric hung up on me. Never hung up on you, son.
I always taught him to stand up for himself.
And I was quiet. I didn't want to make him cry, man.
I always taught him to stand up for himself. Look what he's
Hey,
doing.
what a way to end the show. What a way to end the show. That's terrible.
All right. Jason Zelna, like Charlie Z.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, he's still saying Lorda hung up. Hey, Lorda didn't do anything, son. You bailed. We all saw you bail. Beeb knows it. Everybody knows it.
Well, let's go watch the fights, guys.
All right, well, hang on. Quickly. 901, quickly. Yes, 901.
What's going on? It's your boy Dog Man. It's the dog.
Hey, Dog
Man, what's the haps?
I just had what's going on? I just want to speak about Earl Spence. Rumor has it that Manny Pacquiao was ducking Earl Spence. I mean, what's new? He is the boogeyman. I mean, Keith Thurman been ducking him for years. Keith Thurman ducked him for years. What about Sean Porter ducking him? I mean, they both fight for PBC, Fox, Showtime. They never fought. Keith Thurman faking injuries. That guy is scared. He's shitting in his pants every time he sees Earl Spence. He shits on himself, man.
That's right, he does.
What about Sean Porter? Sean Porter, he's scared too. That guy's ducking him. I mean, he just fought Ugas. He could have fought Earl Spence, but that's why Earl Spence fought Mikey Garcia. That's why Earl Spence fought Mikey Garcia, because Sean Porter ducked him. Sean Porter is a bitch. We seen Kell Brook fuck him up. We all seen it. Kell Brook fucked him up. And I love my UK guys. I love Eddie Hearn. But I just want to say, I mean, I don't want to keep talking about Earl Spence because we all know everybody's scared of him. And just add Manny Pacquiao to the list. I just want to know, why did he step in the ring? Because, I mean, Jerry Jones was in the ring. Everybody was setting up the fight. And now he's still talking about Mayweather, who's retired. If he wants to retire, he should join Mayweather and retire. But don't mess up the sport that I love. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I have a feeling, Dog Man, he's gonna fight either Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia next.
Well, put it like this: I believe if he should fight Earl Spence so they can sell out the stadium. That's the only way they can break a record. That's the only way. Because Keith Thurman, he got exposed. He got exposed for being a bitch. Everybody knows he's scared of Earl Spence.
But look at it this way, Dog Man. If Pacquiao fights Thurman and beats Thurman, then Pacquiao has the WBA belt, and Porter and Spence fight. Spence takes Porter's belt. They each have 2 belts. Then you put the fight in the stadium for all 4 belts, or for all the belts except for Crawford.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. But what about Earl Spence fighting Pacquiao? That's the reason why he stepped in the ring in the first place. You fight him. That's a pay-per-view fight. We, as Americans, we're still building up Earl Spence. Let's make him the next Mayweather. He's going to knock out Pacquiao, something Mayweather couldn't do. He's going to knock him out. And everybody knows Earl Spence gave Mayweather a black eye. And everybody knows Earl Spence knocked out Adrian Broner in a sparring match. Everybody knows it. And he doesn't say he did because he doesn't want to brag, because he's a true champion. But everybody knows what he did. Everybody knows he blacked his eye. But, I mean, I don't want to keep talking about Earl Spence because we all know he's the best. He should fight Manny Pacquiao, but Pacquiao is scared.
90 seconds.
I just want to keep building up his name because that's going to make him a pay-per-view star. But other than that, I mean, this Saturday, Ryan Garcia versus... Ryan Garcia's fighting on his own. I mean, I can't wait to watch Ryan Garcia. He has 2.2 million followers on Instagram. That's more than Deontay Wilder, the heavyweight champion. I mean, come on now. Ryan Garcia, they say he's the next Golden Boy. I can't wait to watch him fight. They say he's the next Oscar de la Hoya. So, I mean, this guy, he's box office. That's what they say. And I can't wait for Devin Haney to come to the zone so he can fight Ryan Garcia. After Devin Haney, after he beats Luke Campbell, he can fight Ryan Garcia. So that's going to be a big fight. So, I mean, I know you guys say you got to go. I just want to talk about Usyk one time. Usyk, he's undisputed champion. And, I mean, I can't wait to see Usyk fight. He's a gold medalist. And, I mean, when you think about it, on the ESPN top 10 on the pound-for-pound list right now. Everybody look it up. You have Anthony Joshua on that list. You have Triple G on that list. Canelo on that list. So those all of those are the zone fighters, by the way. So you have all these pound-for-pound fighters fighting on the zone for about, I'm paying $8 a month because I've been subscribed to the zone. So I'm a loyal customer, and I'm a loyal person. So I'm loyal to this show, and I just want to say, I mean, the zone got the best fighters. The proof is in the pudding. You go to the ESPN top 10, you see mostly the zone fighters. They got the most fighters on the ESPN pound-for-pound list. And, you know, ESPN is biased to their fighters. They're biased to their fighters, but, I mean, the zone fighters, they overwhelm in the top 10 list. So I just want you guys to, it's not me, it's the stats. It's all on paper, so everybody look it up. If you don't believe the dog, man, just look it up. I'm just speaking facts.
There it is, the dog man dropping knowledge. All right, dog man, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
I love this show.
We love that you call in. Love it, man.
Yes, sir.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I swear I didn't. I swear.
Better stop cutting people off tonight. You better stop cutting people off tonight.
I know. Well, you know, it's funny. Like when you say goodbye and stuff like that, and it's like there's always like that little banter at the end. So
you better straighten it up, baby.
I better straighten it up. Oh, look who wiped his tears and decided to come back on. Oh, look at that. Now he accused me again of hanging up on him.
Eric, be nice to him now, please. Just be nice to him.
He is. He's very sensitive tonight. Did you notice that? He's very sensitive.
He is a little. He's a little bit sensitive tonight.
He's a little bit sensitive tonight, right? He didn't want the thing with Georgie and everything like that. He's the one who requested it.
Right, don't cyberbully. Don't cyberbully. Don't cyberbully.
I'm not. I'm just saying. Robbie, do you think I'm cyberbullying Jason?
No, but he deserves whatever he gets.
Wow, Jason's fragile. He's fragile.
Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead. Let him in.
Quickly. Go.
Lord, I mean, you fucking running your mouth for 2 hours. I mean,
you're
of course it's going to be quickly, you moron.
You want to get hung up on again?
Dude, shut up. Let people. You just cut off the last caller. You cut me off like 2 times. I mean, come on, dude. Jesus Christ. I know we.
So how come you didn't
we
talk
know
to
this
Georgie?
is your highlight of the day, but give some other people some time too, dude. Come on.
How come you didn't talk to Georgie?
You hung up, dude. As soon as he called in,
I did not.
As soon as he called in, I hear a beep and fucking I see disconnected. That's not me. That's you, dude. I mean,
handle with care.
as soon as you got him online, I hear a beep and I'm off.
Okay, listen. Listen,
let me talk, dude. Shut up for a second. Jesus Christ, shut up. And I already told you. I mean, Georgie's a retard like you, so it's kind of hard to argue with him. You know, he won't make any difference. No, but Beeb, did you see the video I just sent you on Facebook? Dave Caldwell saying they were looking at Tom Schwartz for Chizora's comeback fight.
I did.
That's a joke.
I did.
Did you see that shit?
I did. I read that. Yeah.
Robbie, go on IFL. Go on IFL and look at it, Robbie. IFL TV. I mean, this is what Bob Arum says when ESPN is the biggest megaphone. You know, I mean, he's a fucking liar. That's just a talking point, and we need to stop. That's the way he's trying to lure these guys in. He's like, oh, ESPN is the biggest megaphone, but what I'm seeing is ESPN is probably the second biggest megaphone. Fox is number 1. And I'm glad they're not overpaying. You know, Wilder doesn't deserve $15 million to fight on Fox. If you're going to fight on Fox, you're building a profile. You can make $5 million and be happy with it. We don't need to be paying you $15 million for fucking Brazil and shit. Fuck that. That's why DAZN is raising their prices to $20 a month. And some people said, some people are in the YouTubers saying it's going to go up to $24.99 in the next 15 months. So get ready, okay? And then the monthly will be up to like $10 or $15 a month. I know Lorda thinks it's cheap and shit, but it's going to go up. I'm telling you. What did you guys think about Jesse Magdaleno? Did you guys watch this fight last night?
Yeah.
We already talked about it.
I felt bad for him.
Yeah, I heard Robbie say it.
Because the other guy didn't even, he just showed up to get a paycheck. That's all he was there for.
What's the next top rank? Is Grotesque the next top rank card coming up?
Yes, that is correct.
What's the undercard on there, you know?
We went over it.
Yeah, we went over it, but it's not impressive.
Yeah, fucking Robbie, did you read the World Boxing News article by Bob Arum today about Eddie Hearn? Did you read it?
No, I did not. Not yet, anyway.
He said he has no clue about the American market. He needs to ship his ass back to UK.
Well,
Bob Arum was going to fight at the 2300 arena, so I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, that is so
that's
disgusting.
What I'm saying. Bob is a lying snake. You know, Bob is playing that divide conquer. He's like trying to butter up Heyman and trying to fucking stab Eddie in the back. But
that is so disgusting. I mean, I'm familiar with Orange County. The hangar is not a place to really put on a TV fight like that. And the 23 Arena in Philadelphia, it's a bingo hall, man. That's where
the Raging Babe did her part, didn't she? That's where the Raging Babe did her part, right, Eric?
But she's just starting out. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you
exactly.
That's the kind of thing you do for pro debuts and developmental fights. Vosdek is not a developmental fighter. He's a light heavyweight champion, you know? Jeez.
To be fair, PBC put Jesse Vargas at the hangar, too, in his comeback fight on Fox Sports 1.
I know they did.
It was pretty packed, but,
Yeah.
Yeah. They put him and, what's his name, Carlos Valderas, because he's local and shit, so they had a local fan. When are you guys about to watch the show? Dan, Eric, Beeb, I told Eric to do the post-fight show. I think we would have gotten way more views. We only got 40 people watching? We would have gotten 100 people watching live. The cards would have been 10 p.m.
They have to work tomorrow, man.
Eric said he didn't get permission from his wife. He was scared, so I was like, all right.
I mean, they have...
From Jason. Another brutally
they have
call.
Beeb and Eric have jobs, man.
He's flamed out the
Eric
entire
got
show.
Beeb and Eric have jobs, Come on.
Yeah. So there you go. Another lousy call from Jason.
Next
time, Jason, don't blow up my phone asking to come back on. So there you go.
His calls get worse and worse by the day, man.
They really do. They really do, man. It's bad. I mean, he used to be like. The funny part is, when he used to call in, it used to be something like something different because he was like the angry guy and this and that. But now he's just the sad clown in a lot of ways.
But yet everybody loves him. I don't get it. I've never understood that. He's one of the worst people to call this show, and everybody loves him to death.
He gets a lot of hate now. He gets a lot of hate. I haven't gotten one positive thing on him. So. Yeah,
And, we don't bring anybody else back like that.
Oh, he's in the chat crying now. Poor guy.
Anyway.
Poor guy. Oh, that's too bad. I feel bad, Beeb. I feel bad. I know he's your boy. I feel bad.
We got fights to watch, guys.
That's right. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Robert on Twitter at Ringside Robert, or you can call Ringside Robbie's Corner at 917.
No.
No, that's your number.
It's 773-572-7781. The 917 number no longer works. So.
Right. You can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. I'm at Ringside73, and we will see you next week.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.